Hello and welcome. So what I have in front of me here is a 3mm hook with some medium weight acrylic yarn. It's actually light gray, looks almost white for this particular project. What I'm going to go ahead and show is a how-to on how to make the hoof or the foot that we're going to make. This is going to be a two-toed animal, so I'm going to go ahead and show how I form the base of the foot and how to add those two toes to make it look like they're a cloven hoof animal. So the way I start the projects is some people do use the magic yarn or the magic ring technique, which is perfectly fine in this scenario. Out of just pure habit, I just do it this way. I slip knot the yarn on and I just double knot it. And I just go ahead and do 2 chains, and then in the back loop of the first chain I just slip stitch to form a small ring. It just works in this scenario. It doesn't work in every scenario, but if you are more comfortable with the magic ring technique, perfectly welcome to use that. So within this small ring, I'm going to go ahead and do chain 1 and then 6 single crochets into the loop or into the ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I do with this tail here is I just kind of crochet over it to hide it, so it's not in the way. So that's 5 and then 6. And this does always get a little tight, which is perfectly fine with these because you don't want stuffing to show through. So sometimes that first stitch is a little hard to see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the second row, what we're going to do is an increase in each stitch below. So that's going to be 2 single crochets into each one. And so we're going to start with this one that's hard to find. Again, so what I do with this tail is I just loop it over and kind of hold it, and I crochet over it to hide it. You can leave it loose. I just like the way it is when it's not in the way. So this will be our first increase. Second increase. Six. So now that tail is completely hidden, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So that's going to be the second row. This next row, I am going to continue the pattern where I increase on each stitch. So we're going to go from 12 to 24. A lot of patterns will only increase by 6 each time, so you'll get like an increase and then 1 SC and then increase and then 1 for 18 on the next row. On this particular pattern, I increase right away to get all the way up to 24 just to shape the base of the hoof, and it's okay to have a little bit of a convex shape in the foot for a stuffed animal. So that's the only reason I do 12 to 24. And we'll do that around. Let's see, I think I have a couple more. So that's grand total of 24. So it still lays pretty flat, and that's perfectly fine. Okay. Oops. Grab some more yarn here. So this next row is going to be where we kind of split using kind of 2 different chains, and basically making 2 little areas where we can then later reattach the yarn to do 2 cones to create the toes. So what I'm going to go ahead and do on this row is we're going to do 6 regular crochets. So one single crochet in each of the one below. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then now we're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not a bad idea to do this regularly loosely. Maybe kind of elongate the chains a little bit longer than the body, just so it's not extremely tight and difficult. So now we're going to go ahead and skip the next 5. So these 5 right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are going to be skipped. And we're going to go into this 6th one and do 1 single crochet. So you'll see a chain and then 1, and then we're going to chain 5. And then we're going to skip 5, so those 5 are skipped. We're going to come in here, 1, so now you have two holes, and then final 6, we're going to just single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So now you'll see it's kind of starting to kind of fold in on itself, which is perfectly fine. Get that to focus. That's what you want, because we're actually going to shape it this way. Main thing is just to have 2 areas here to later reattach for the toes. So what we're going to do on the next technically 3 rows is we're going to do 24 SCs around. It's going to be 1 in each. On these chains, I'll show you when we get there. We're going to do the back loop on those. So let's start with, well, no, the first 6 are going to be regular. And so the easiest way, I just take my thumb and I just kind of stick it through, and it actually rolls it. So you can kind of see the back loops there. And we're going to do 5 back loops. And this last one will want to roll a lot more than the others. Come on. That's why you just don't want to do it too crazy tight, but okay. So now we have the 5 in the chain, we're going to do this 1. And then we're going to roll that chain and do 5. And this is the hardest row, so the rest of it is all much easier. Okay, and then there'll be 7 to do here. Okay, so you'll see obviously the shape happening. This is actually going inside out, so you're welcome to kind of turn it like that, because that's going to be how we expect it to form in finality. So at the top here you'll see the 2 holes, and they'll be ready to be worked later. So next 2 rows is going to be 24 single crochets, 1 in each, all the way around. So I'll go ahead and fast forward through there and meet you back. Oh, okay, so we have those rows ready. So you'll see kind of the shape of the foot a little bit here. It looks like a big smiley face, almost Nightmare Before Christmas. So you have the two holes ready to go for toes, and then the bottom portion like that. Okay, so on this next row, what we're going to go ahead and do is start kind of decreasing, because we do want to get the diameter of the leg a little bit down. So we're going to go pretty much all the way back down to 12 going around, but we're going to do that in a couple stepwise. So looking at doing some math here, so we're going to do so we want to make sure we decrease, because this will kind of be the portion that needs to come in. So it's not going to be like an even decrease around. So I'm going to start with doing 6 single crochets. Okay, so here what we're going to want to do is do our decreases. So we're going to decrease. I'm going to go in one, grab a loop, go in the next one, grab a loop. So now I have 3 on the hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. So that is going to be 1 decrease, 1 regular single crochet, 1 decrease, 1 regular, decrease, 1 regular, decrease, regular, decrease, regular. And so it should be 6 decreases. Let me make sure I counted that right, or if there's one more. 5, yeah, 1 more. So that's going to be 6 decreases. And that should bring us down to 18. So yeah, so this is going to be the start 6 here that we did. And we're going to go ahead and we decrease that to 18. So this next row, we're going to do 18 around. Okay. And this next one, we're going to decrease it from 18 to 12, so another 6 decreases. So we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then a decrease, and then 1, and then a decrease. Okay, so now we have 12 around, and we're going to do 3 rows of 12 to finalize it. So we'll probably fast forward through this. So now what that looks like is we can go ahead and stuff it. So you can get polyfill, or I just get the cheap Amazon pillows online. They're actually a little bit cheaper sometimes, pound per pound. For this particular polyfill, it really depends on pricing, availability. It'll work. It's okay to get firm with it. This way. Okay. And yes, clearly we have two holes in here that it's going to pop out on. That is perfectly valid and is expected. So it's okay if it just kind of holds those open. I just don't want it pouring out. Come on. There we go. Keep it shape. So at the top here, to close it out, we're basically going to squeeze the top here. So basically you'll have 6 stitches on this side and 6 stitches on that side. We're going to go ahead and go in the first stitch and then bend it all the way around to go in the other stitch on that side, and single crochet and close them together. So you'll do one here. This one's a little messed up. There we go. And so I had 12 around, so we're going to condense it, so it's going to be 6 and 6. Okay, and what that does is it not only closes the piece, but when you're going around and building the actual stuffy, you can easily stitch into these 6 on top to connect it to the body that way. So here we can go ahead and fasten off. And you don't have to leave a long tail. We can actually knot it and hide it. So I just kind of go through a second time with this end, tie it off, get that real tight. You're still going to see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across. And then I just grab that tail and pull it through the body. And just hide it. And hopefully not pull out stuffing. So you'll actually use these 6 here are going to be kind of what goes around as you're crocheting in the body, and you'll have a nice little foot. Okay, so before the stuffing all comes out, we're going to go ahead and grab our yarn again. And what we'll do, so there should be 10 in this round, so you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we're basically going to use that as our new little round. So I'm going to go into the first stitch, grab the yarn like that, and I just chain 1. Whoops, it's getting away from me. Here we go. Chain 1 like that to kind of knot it. And similar to our beginning round, I just loop the end. I'll get some of this out of the way. Over the yarn, and I will single crochet over it to hide it. So we're going to go back into that same stitch here, single crochet, and we're going to do 10 in this round. So 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll feel like you're skipping a little bit, but you just want to make sure the ends are tight. So this is going to be the 6, 7, 8, 'Try not to pick up too much stuffing, 9, and this last one is going to be 10. And the beginning stitch of the next round is going to be what joins them. So this next round, we're going to go ahead and actually start decreasing. So we're going to do single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease, single crochet, then decrease, and try not to get the other side there. And you're going to keep doing that basically until you have a point. So you don't necessarily have to keep track of, how many stitches per round. You just kind of keep doing it until it's a toe or it's a point. So single crochet and then decrease, single crochet and then decrease. And it's going to get a little hard, but that's perfectly fine. Okay, so you can kind of see it's a point here. So I'm going to go ahead and do this last one. I'm just going to slip stitch like that. Cut the yarn, fasten off, and make a knot. And then hide that tail. So now you have one toe. And we're going to repeat it on this one. We're going to find that first of 10. I'm going to go in that same stitch and do 10 around. It's always a little hard sometimes. Let me count that. It is right here. Okay. And then we're gonna do one SC to join and then start decreasing. this final slip stitch. There we go. Okay. So now what we have is a little bulbous foot with 2 toes. Just like that. So join me in the next one. We'll start working on the muzzle, the ears, the tail, and eventually the body. And we'll put it all together for your stuffy. Thank you.